Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, Paul here. In today's video, I'm going to be listing the 10 cards I want off the ban list. Specifically monsters. I think that spells and traps get a little bit tougher to discuss, but I feel like with monster cards and Yu-Gi-Oh! That end up on the ban list, there's usually a point where they get definitively power crept out and they just won't make that big of a difference in the format anymore. So whereas Pot of Greed might seem broken no matter what, or Royal Oppression or something like that, we can talk about most monsters pretty easily. So card number 1, Shrit, Strategist of the Necroz. This card got banned in 2015, late 2015, and I think that it just doesn't feel like it would make a big difference anymore. Necroz are a fan favorite deck. A lot of people wish they could be viable again. A lot of people wish that they could get just more of their cards back. And a big part in them being even playable at all is Shrit. He counts as a full tribute for a Necroz monster. Pretty convenient, but his banning was more about the fact that when he does get tributed, he searches one of your Necroz warrior monsters from your deck to your hand. It adds a lot of consistency to the deck, and I get that in some cases it maybe felt overwhelming. If you had like 3 Shrits, you could do a lot of stuff. But by and large, I would say that one Shrit surely wouldn't be that bad, right? Like, I mean, the card, yes, it's a plus, but we play in a game now with like loads of pluses, loads of searches. I mean, we've got stuff like Isolde that exists in the game right now, and like Summon Sorceress, and all these monsters, that are like Stratos type effects that just search things. So I don't think it would be unreasonable for Shrit to come back, at least not to 1. Card number 2 is Windup Carriers Zen Mighty. So I think this card should come off the ban list. I mean, I've thought it for a while now, but now more than ever because Windup's literally just got a Link monster. They got Zenmaikon, and I think that, Zenmaikon works really well if you can actually have good Windup Xyz monsters to use it with. The problem is Windup's current Xyz lineup is good, but I mean, like, it's nothing that really tends to stay on the field. But Zen Mighty is like the playmaker, the combo starter, kind of extender card that has a lot of actual cool applications. Bringing it back to something like 1 wouldn't be so bad, right? I mean, really, I think it could go to 2 or 3. But the way Master Rule 4 works right now, it's like you can't just spam out loads and loads of Zen Mighties, so having multiple might not even be all that bad. But to have just 1 in a world where, you still need to make a Link monster first, preferably, and then make your Zen Mighty and then get cards, like, I don't know. And I mean, if you look at like the Windup archetype as a whole, it's pretty power crept out. The monsters they do a good job of like summoning themselves to the field and stuff, but they don't really have any other broken effects, and they can't even really make lots of crazy disruptions or, anything like that. They don't stop your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like many of these archetypes today do. So I think that like 1 Zen Mighty is not unreasonable. Card number 3 is Daylong of the Yang Zing. So I think that this monster is awesome. I love Yang Zing, so of course I'm biased here, but I really don't think that this card necessarily needed to be banned. Like, yes, it searches cards and, it can extend some combos and get you some powerful stuff, and the Dino Yang Zing deck was strong, but like, 1 Daylong just doesn't feel like it would be the end of the world, right? Because A, we're in Master Rule 4, which means that a lot of these like, synchro spam type strategies aren't exactly going to be like usable. So yes, you can like make a Yang Zing, a Daylong, get a surge, and then like, sync with it again or turn it into something else. But that's usually where it's going to stop, I feel. And a lot of people like dinosaurs. I mean, I don't think that giving them 1 Daylong would make them unstoppable. And a lot of people like Yang Zings and want to be able to play them, and it sucks when, like what happens with Yu-Gi-Oh! So often, a deck's best card somehow finds its way banned because maybe another deck abused it more, and that really sucks. So I think Daylong should come back. In addition to the next card, which is closely related, Jim. So the True King Jim monster, I get why it probably had to go. Mostly dinosaurs again, right? Babysaurus, Pteranodon, they're both Earth. Popping them with this guy activates all their effects, and then he shows up and he banishes cards from your opponent's extra deck, and I get it. Banishing from the extra deck is brutal. I think right now more than ever that would actually hurt, because then you'd hit the Isoldes, you'd hit the Link Spiders, you'd hit, a lot of the play starter monsters, and then you can just shut off a lot of these decks like Goki's. But 1 Jim, like, I don't know. I don't think it would be overwhelmingly bad. I think that it would be a lot of fun. It would let True Kings be playable as a deck. It would let me play my Yang Zing deck. It would let dinosaurs have some fun. Now, I get it if Daylong and Jim were both off the ban list. Maybe that'd get a little out of hand. But then if that's the case, maybe they could take a more OCG approach to hitting dinosaurs and maybe aim for like, Baby Ceratosaurus or Oviraptor instead. I don't know what the answers are, I just know that I want these cards off the ban list. Next card is Tribe Infecting Virus. So this is a really old card that's been on the ban list for ages. I get why it was banned initially, right? You know, you discard a card, you can pop any type of monster in the field. All of them. And it's not once per turn, so you can discard cards and pop like an entire field. Pop, pop, pop as you discard. But, I mean, like, whatever, right? We have evenly matched. We have Darkhole and Raigeki, they're legal. Field wipes are not a big deal. And there's gonna be people who are like, oh, well, Mermails, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. Mermails aren't like winning events. I mean, if you discard a Dragoons for Tribe Infecting Virus, then so be it. Like, I don't think that matters that much. Tribe Infecting Virus isn't really like searchable. It's not a combo maker in and of itself. It's just a field removal card. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, I mean, like, as a going first card, it's really not going to be very powerful at all. Your opponent won't have a field, so you won't want to just summon it, and it's hard to actually summon it. It takes a normal summon in a game where normal summons are usually better used as something that searches or something that, you know, tributes itself in special, some Predaplant, I don't know. So I think that one Tribe Infecting Virus, a non-searchable card that just removes like many other things in the game, would be okay. Next card's gonna be a little bit controversial. I think that Zodiac Dry could come back, just to one, because as it is now, Zodiacs obviously can't do anything. I think that bringing Dry back wouldn't be so bad. I feel like Broad Bull being banned is maybe more reasonable because he was kind of the step in the ladder that got you pluses, and he was a little bit more techable in other strategies, and he made it where like Zodiacs as an engine could be played and all that stuff. But I think that if you just give back Drident, then it gives Zodiacs back their actual boss monster. Because without Drident, like, what's a Zodiac deck do anymore? Yes, they can, you know, Xyz over and Xyz over and Xyz over, but that's kind of where it just stops. Drident gave them a way to be able to like pop cards on the field, and yes, I get it, it's a little overwhelming, it's a quick effect removal, and those can get dangerous in Yu-Gi-Oh! But one of them, you know, that wouldn't be so bad. Zodiacs can function in Master Rule 4, so I get that you can't have like maybe 3 Dryants and 3 Broad Bulls and all that, and that's not what I'm asking for, because I was not a huge Zodiac fan myself. But it just sucks to see a deck that was pretty cool conceptually be completely unplayable because 2 of its best Xyz monsters both got banned? That just feels almost unfair. At least give them back the boss monster and not like the super advantage playmaker card. That's my opinion though. Next card is Double Iris Magician. So this is actually fairly recently banned, and it's, you know, the whole Pendulum Magician playmaker type of card. It searches the Pendulum Graph cards when it gets destroyed, and there's not a once per turn restriction on its effect. I get why this is a problem. But, as you guys can see now, Pendulum Magicians don't even play the Pendulum Graph cards anymore because there's no Double Iris Magician. So because you can't search the cards, they're not worth running, and so they don't get played. And the like Star and Time, Pendulum Graph and all that, they're good cards, but it sucks to see like cards literally just be unplayable because they're not searchable. I think one Double Iris Magician would not be the worst thing in the world. Like, you know, let's do it. Let's see where it goes. One of them would be okay because we already have Astrograph Sorcerer banned. So like one Double Iris, I get it. Electron exists. Maybe this would get, you know, wild and nuts, but in this game where they seem to just increasingly hit Pendulum decks and Pendulum Magicians like sort of over and over, giving back one Double Iris so that Pendulum Magicians can actually play Pendulum Magician strategies and not just be used as another supplementary like Pendulum engine, I think that's a good thing. So Double Iris to 1 seems totally reasonable in my book. Next is Performapal Monkey Board. This card's been banned for it feels like ages now, and obvious reason why, it's a 1-card scale. I get it, that seems problematic, but I mean, we've recently gotten like Cleafort Scout. It's around. I think it honestly needs to come back to like 2 or 3. But anyway, I mean, we've got Cleafort Scout back. It was a 1-card scale. It hasn't done anything. This could do the same thing. What are you really gonna search? Because Skull Crobat Joker, you know, like it's gone. So the Performapal deck is weak and there's no like immediately great thing to search. Pendulum Sorcerer, I get that he's like, you know, a good card and all, and like he can pop stuff and generate advantage, but like to what end really when Pendulums right now are just a mesh of loads of engines. Maybe for that reason, maybe that's why Monkey Board shouldn't come back, because it just adds another layer to the Pendulum strategies of like 60 card Pendulum decks that just do everything. But when I look at how Performapals work now, it's like it just feels so weak and so incomplete, and a 1-card scale does a lot for a power crept Pendulum strategy like this. I think it makes sense. I think it would be really fun to just have it 1, because you can't search it with Crobat Joker, so like you have to kind of do it with Pendulum Sorcerer, and then it's just giving you a free scale. Seems fair to me. Then there's El Shaddoll Construct, a card that, this is a fan favorite to get off the ban list, and I think it's fine. Like, this card, yes, it extends a few combos, it's kind of hard to deal with, whatever, but Shaddolls don't do anything in the game right now. Clearly, their existing boss monsters are not enough to make them a playable deck. With Construct at 1, just 1, not 3, just 1, this deck, I mean, like, it could play again. It won't be top tier. I don't think anyone's arguing that, like, with 1 Construct, Shaddolls would be top tier. In Master Rule 4, it's already hard enough to really use this deck. Their new Link monster doesn't really do much of anything. Like with Zen Mighty, I thought that when they released the Shaddoll Link monster, that would be like the time they'd take Construct off the ban list as, a sort of promo type of thing. Like, oh, okay, Shaddolls got their monster back and they got this thing. But, I mean, she's still banned, and I think that at 1, that's fine. That means that the pure Shaddoll deck won't be overpowered by any means. It just means it can tech some of the same light engines it enjoyed before. You get to use maybe Light Swords if you want, maybe Trick Clown, that type of stuff. Maybe it gets broken and you can ban her again, but I think that it's totally fine to just give it a try at 1. And last but not least is Elemental Hero Stratos. Now, I don't mean this in the memey way. I actually think that Elemental Hero Stratos is fine to come off the ban list now. It's really been fine for formats now, and I get it, there's no hard once per turn in its effect. Errata it if you must, whatever. But people have been clamoring for this back, and heroes really could use the boost. I don't know, just bring the card back. Like, we're playing a game where there's so many Stratos monsters right now. So many just normal summon, get a free search from your deck. So when you look at it that way, what harm is Stratos really gonna do? Maybe there's gonna be a crazy spammy strategy, but until Stratos comes back, Heroes as a deck cannot exist in any viable sense. I don't even know that Stratos would make Heroes viable again. It might just make them more playable. But it's just one of those cards that's been on the ban list forever, and I think it's a lot more balanced, honestly, than something like maybe Disc Commander. So I'm gonna cave to the memes and say, free Stratos, it actually deserves it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that these cards are just broken and should stay banned? Which of them do you think should come off? Which of them should stay on? Are there other cards that maybe I missed? Let me know down in the comments, I'd love to hear it. And remember, if you buy anything on Inked Gaming, the awesome custom playmat site, use the code APS10 for 10% off. It's really awesome. And if you want to buy any Yu-Gi-Oh singles, check out TCG Player. Those are our two sponsors. Alright, it's gonna be it. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.